Hey guys, welcome to Mintac. This is Chris. I got something new for you guys, totally out of the normal. Usually it's like guns or knives or pants or shoes or equipment and stuff like that. Today I am going to teach you guys how to throw a tomahawk. That's right, this is an official Indian, Native American tomahawk. You know what? I can say Native American, I can say Indian, because guess what? I am part Iroquois, part Sioux, along with like 5,000 other things. So I'm going to say Indian, or I'll say Native American, because my great-great-grandmother was full-blooded Iroquois on the Mohawk side. So anyway, this is a tomahawk. We are going to learn how to throw it. Stay tuned. Alright, so let's get into throwing logistics. Before we begin, you need to know exactly where to hold a tomahawk to be able to throw it. Okay, so if you take your tomahawk, if you have one like this, put it in the crook of your elbow, lay it down, just like this. That is where the palm of your hand should be resting when you throw. I've got a nice red stripe on mine. I did paint this. So the heel of my hand sits right on that area, and that's where I throw from. So again, crook of the elbow, measure down, and grab. And that is where you should be putting the end of your palm, right there. It's exactly where you should be throwing. So let's go over the steps. How many steps do you take from your target to be able to throw? This is going to help you out, because that way you're not like wasting time going back and forth down the tomahawk range to be able to throw. Now you'll see my setup. I actually built this tripod specifically for knife throwing and tomahawk throwing. And so you can choose to build. You could actually put it on a sawhorse if you want, but it should be about chest level basically. But you can take some 2x4s. I use cedar and then some lag bolts and bolted everything together. And so I know there's a lot of like bars and other places that are having throwing competitions. So if you ever go to a place that throws axes or tomahawks, this will kind of help you out in regard to throwing. The other cool thing is it's relaxing. If you guys reload or do anything that is gun related, there are probably activities that are very enjoyable, very relaxing, that are not high stress or anxiety. And this is one thing that can be like throwing beanbags, or it can be like playing bocce ball or whatever. It's a lot of fun. My kids are involved. My wife hasn't thrown yet, but it's coming. And so I'm going to show you how to set up your target, make sure that's all set up correctly, proper stepping it out, and then we're going to go through throwing technique, because there is a technique to be able to throw a tomahawk. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so this is my tomahawk log stand. You can see I've got two pieces of wood. Left hand side is my target, obviously. Right hand side is just to take some room up so I'm not damaging my tripod. And so I'll be throwing at the left hand piece of wood, and you can kind of see how it's constructed. Lag bolt at the top. That actually the arm that's located over here actually folds in so I can store it a little bit better. So let's step things out. We'll show you how to properly get the right distance for throwing. Alright, as you can see, my back is to the target. We're going to take 7 paces, not steps, but paces. So just your regular pace, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And this is what we get for a distance. Okay, after 7 paces, that's what it's looking like. I put my tomahawk sheath down on the ground to measure my 7 paces, and the target is right there. Now I might have to adjust this based upon the placement of my throw, and I'll go through that in a little bit. Depending on how the tomahawk hits my target, I might have to adjust my step and release point. Throwing technique, like I said before, you're going to make sure that you measure correctly, palm at the end where you throw it. Okay, you're going to be throwing this like a baseball, so when you step, when you throw, if you're a right-hander, your step is you're going to step forward with your left foot, okay? And you're not going to sidearm it. You're not going to throw it like this. It's got to come above, straight above your shoulder, and release. Basically what you want to do is when you throw, I'll show you this angle. Is you're back here, you take your left foot forward, step, and throw like this. So it should be a nice, straight, even plane, not off to the side, not weak-handed, not limp-wristed, but it should be a nice, even throw forward like this. When you release, your release should be like you're shaking hands, okay? So it's not a flip of the wrist. That wrist should be locked in place. Step forward, and at this point you're releasing and shaking hands, and you should be pointing your hand, your fingers, right at the target, okay? Some people have a tendency to throw, to release too quickly. That's going to go over the target. If you release too late, it's going to be going under the target, okay? So that's it for the throwing technique. Like I said, palm, step, throw, release, about that point. Shaking hands. Another thing that you want to be cognizant of is where your first throws are placing. So I'm going to go over a little bit throw placement, and there's a way to define how you're throwing, if you're too far back or if you're too far forward. So let's go over that in just a second. Alright, now that you know the techniques, let's get to throwing and see how we do. So once you get that pattern down, once you get the mindset down of where you're supposed to be, then it just becomes automatic. Just like that. See if I can do it again. Ooh, we got the other one this time. That right there, that's how you throw a knife. That's a knife. That's sucking the bottom of it. So hopefully you get the idea. Just get out there and practice. If you've never done it before, you can see it's been a while since I've thrown Tomahawk. I threw knife probably about a week, 2 weeks ago. But I'll teach you how to throw that too, because it's a little bit different. You can't just pick up any knife and just throw it. So enjoy, thumbs up, comment, share.